if Yonah was so qualified and so charismatic to be the prophet of the nations, why didn't he embrace that? Why didn't he celebrate that?
Well, he set an example. I don't understand exactly what you mean. Why he didn't celebrate that as a...
Why didn't he approach it with enthusiasm and go full steam ahead if he was qualified?
Because we explained why. He thought that it would be best for the Jewish people. That's what he thought. God thought different.
But he didn't.
What?
He didn't understand. He didn't realize that.
He didn't realize. He thought it would be bad for the Jewish people.
Do you think that had he done it, had he done it?
As was just said before, and the truth, it was bad. It was very bad, because Assyria came and destroyed the northern kingdom. He knew what it was.
That was Yonah's conflict, because as a prophet, he could see what Assyria would turn into, and he was really conflicted. He was deeply conflicted.
Wouldn't anybody be able to make the same judgment again now they started to follow and say, well, widespread no.
Okay, so at the very end, there's another Midrash of Chazal that we didn't say. At the very end, when God says to him that you are so sad and sorry about this kikayon, this gourd, that bin laila hayan, bin laila avad, that overnight it became and overnight it perished. And I shouldn't have compassion. So it says at the very end, this is not an explicit verse in the Bible. It says that Jonah fell on his face before God, prostrated before God, and he said, I am giving over, so to speak, giving to you back the leading of the world. Run your world with your compassion. Those are the last words of Jonah. It means that at the very end, he accepted what's called the hanhaga, the way God runs the world, with compassion. It means that the thing that God said to him, I should not have compassion on all these people, on all these dozens and dozens. So at the end, he conceded. So that his concession was now, for our times, that's the teaching for our times, that Jonah has already given up his ta'anot, his philosophy, his initial philosophy. And now Jonah himself is open to receiving the wish and the true desire of God, which is universal. Once more, the very simple thing is that Jonah was a patriotic, a Jewish patriot. And that's good. God says, God, I'm the creator. These are my children, but I'm universal. Just like Joseph. Joseph had his family, his brothers. He was closest to his family. But his task was universal. The viceroy of Egypt. And this is the way God runs the world. And at the end, Yonah bows down to God and says, okay, I accept. Run your world with compassion, and I'll even be a part of it. And part of that compassion is once more reaching out to the whole world and bringing the whole world to serve God together. And that then becomes the joy of Sukkot, which he himself experienced as a 12-year-old, thereby receiving his prophecy. Could be that he didn't understand at that time the implication of the fact that all of his prophecy comes from the joy of Sukkot. Not understanding that the joy of Sukkot is the joy of God having compassion on all of his creations. Sometimes you receive prophecy and you only understand it at the very end of your life. Apparently that's what was the case with regard to Jonah.